Welcome to this Monday Live. Most of you are probably going to switch off after a few seconds because those are the times that we're living in, and that's fine. We're living in a time where things have to happen quickly and where you instantly know whether something is going to interest you or intrigue you. And it's actually in many ways a good thing, because then you choose. But it's also in many ways you might miss something that goes a little deeper, that has more value. And also all these quick things going on, they give us a lot of information, a lot of noise. A friend of mine posted a reel video, which is supposed to be maximum 90 minutes, of course. And she made sort of a little fun of this. Not even a little, it was very obvious how she was ridiculing this thing. Yeah, we have to put our lives into 90 seconds. Yeah, go on. You know, what happened to the going in depth, or just being in a calmer pace? And there was also a period here in Norway where they started making what we call slow TV. So you watched a journey. It started, I think, with a railway, a journey from Oslo to Bergen, and you were on the train in real time. You followed the journey in real time, and they did this with the ferry, the Hurtigrute, that goes along the coast of Norway, and they became very, very popular because people were a little tired of all the fastness, the noise, the information, the tempo, things going on. So that was the one thing. And then somebody else commented on my post when I asked what people would like to hear about, and they said happiness and joy and the flow. And I actually, frankly, didn't really know what to talk about this week. And what I did then, obviously, as I just said, was to post and ask a question. And I didn't really do what that person suggested directly. But what happened, once I opened up and I let go of my own thought of having to do something clever or know what to say, or, I let go, then the feeling, the pull towards the topic came. And it is related to both of those things that I just explained. Both how we were sort of pushed to, on social media, to be fast and to be witty and to catch the audience instantly and to put our message in 90 seconds and all this quick action that we're supposed to do in order to reach our audience, in order to be heard, in order to be seen. So that was the one thing. And the other thing was the flow, the happiness that this other person commented on my post. And suddenly this pull came of talking about stillness. So that's the topic of this week. Hello, Elizabeth. And I'm very, very happy for everybody who comes here and will take the time for this, because it is actually a reaction in a way, or it is, I realize that I don't necessarily want to conform to that idea that you have to be quick in order to be heard, or you have to be instant, and you have to put everything in a small space of time in order to be seen or heard, or get your message through. I realize that this pushing to be heard and seen, well, if you run a business, which I'm doing online as well, that is important. But I also realize that I would love to insist on keeping this space of taking the time. It means that a lot of people won't have time to listen to it all. A lot of people won't even consider it, looking at how long it might be. But some people will. And I know that some people also value it. So I will continue with this because it also gives me some space to reflect and to communicate, which I obviously love doing, and to share and to be. And this concept of stillness, the word that came through, and I started thinking, okay, maybe, and I started making the ad for this talk, and I started thinking I had to put happiness, because that was actually a thought I'd had as well, and because that was suggested, happiness. No, it just didn't. It didn't have the energy. It felt flat. And this is actually very interesting, because this is also something I've grown to listen to very carefully after many years of not listening or tuning into anything. I've learned to do that, and I've learned to follow that pull. And this is also what I teach, because when you start listening to that resonance in you, that pull, that color, that energy. Stillness was the energy I was supposed to bring this week. And I realized as I wrote the ad, or the invitation for the arrangement, I realized that's because it contains it all. It contains, yes, the instant moment. It contains the large space. It contains the flow, the happiness, the love. It contains the potential for everything. It contains the potential for destruction also, of course, and creation. And it contains the potential for noise and music, for movement and stillness and static, being static. So this is the space I'm talking about when I say stillness. I'm not saying the quiet. I'm not saying silence. Because the stillness is a state of being in between everything, or that in between the breaths, if you like. A lot of people teach this as a form of meditation, of focusing on the spaces between the breaths, but also beyond all the clutter, all the noise, all the information, all the messages, all the tempo shifts. Because yes, we can have fast things, and it can be exciting, and it can be fun, and we can make fun videos, and we can enjoy them. But if we do not give space for the opposite, the stillness, the time, then it's going to be a little, in my view, quite hectic and intense, and we're probably going to be a lot of stress. But that's more of a moral sort of, I'm not really going to go there, except I would invite you to consider it. What does this tempo do to you? And this is nothing new either. We talk about the stress of having all this information. For the kids and the young people, what does it do to their brains to never have a break? My son, he's 15, he has trouble just being still and quiet. Always something going on. And myself, with having to sort of relate to social media and all this stuff going on as well, because of it's what I'm building up as a business as well now. How can I find those spaces? Now, of course, I meditate. Not everybody does this, but it's a beautiful place to find the stillness. But my meditations aren't always quiet. Sometimes I work. I confront things in myself, or I ask questions to have an insight, and sometimes I follow the breath. So where's the stillness in that? Well, I realized as I thought about it yesterday, or as it came to me yesterday, it's the stillness behind all of that, where you just are. And that's my concept of the stillness that I'm talking about now anyway. I mean, there are all kinds of definitions, I'm sure, and all kinds of experiences. But what I'm talking about here is that presence. That, not even presence, just being. Because sometimes I find when you sort of invited to be present, there's a focus involved, but this is not even that. So how can we find that? How do we find that space that holds the potential? And this, of course, because of this being the topic, my meditation this morning centered around this. And I investigated in myself And I do also invite you all to, when there's something that you want to learn, or when there's a topic that you don't quite understand, investigate it. What does it mean? What does stillness mean to you? Where do you find it? Or where? I mean, is it even a place? Or is it just, like I said, a state of being? So my meditation this morning, hello Sophie, my meditation this morning was about finding and exploring and investigating where this stillness was. And I suddenly felt, and not even felt, I was just there. And that's also part of the point, because the stillness is not really a feeling either. As I said, just a being. I can't really explain it in a better way. So actually this week is probably going to be a lot about your exploring it for yourself. I will guide you through some meditative or exercises maybe on Wednesday. But first, the reason I do this on Mondays without giving you too much of that is because I would like you to try and explore yourself. There's nothing more rewarding than discover it for yourself. And also, only you can know what it feels like for you. We can tune into each other's energies and perceptions, and I can often feel another person's both physical and emotional state of being quite quickly. And sometimes it affects me quicker than I realize, so I don't realize what it is. But I still cannot be that person. So you know, when I sort of pick up on this and I sort of think it's something in me, I can often see, oh, there's that person. That person is going through some, oh, that energy is heavy. Or specifically when you're with somebody close to you, you often feel the other person's feelings and energies, and you sometimes think it's your own. But I can not step into 100% that other person's shoes. And I shouldn't, because it's not my life. It's their life. And you are all obliged, or what should I say, you all deserve to have your own life on your own terms and in your own way, and your own experiences and feelings in your own way. And it's quite a fascinating concept, isn't it, that there are so many ways of perceiving life, and we have some common experiences, and we talk about common feelings. Feeling happiness, feeling laughter, feeling joy, feeling anger, feeling grief, that it's all as if it's something that we all feel in the same way, but we don't. So my sense of stillness, this is why I share it, my sense of it, and then I invite you to explore your sense. But my sense of stillness in this morning meditation, I'll share a little bit about meditations on Wednesday and how you can do it. But this morning I felt just, it was part of a letting go. But not even that, it was just stilling myself. Even stilling my mind, my heart, my presence. Just being in that void, in a way. And in that void, I realized and I discovered that there was freedom. Hi, Mum. I've got people from all over the place here. New Zealand and France and Norway. Wonderful. So this void, this stillness, it sort of detaches itself from all the other stuff, all the noise, all the information, all the emotions that we are triggered to express or feel, all the thoughts that go on in our mind, reactions, fear and worry, which I've had as a topic as well recently, and last week actually. I felt longer, and this stillness it's like to me it's like not even a capsule, it's like a drop, like a golden drop that you're just in. And you end up when I found that still moment, my body relaxed, I've been stiff in my back because I've been doing a lot of carrying here and some intense work physically on my property, and it was just released, and any stress about there are a few things that I need to do this today, quite a few things, and it was just not present. And I find my voice going into this different tone. I don't know if you can hear it, but what happens when you tune into different energies, it can affect your expression, your voice, your tempo, the way your body feels, the way your body works, and the way you think. And it can also affect the way you make choices, that you can tune into what feels right. So that when I actually suddenly landed on stillness being the topic, after asking out what would people like to hear about, and after having some suggestions, receiving some suggestions, this pull was actually a pull towards, it was more inward, it was a pull to that space of stillness that contains all. And when you're in that space, you connect to the feeling that you, who you are, but also the feelings that you would like to live, that flow naturally for you, the feelings, the thoughts, the ideas, the dreams, the choices, the connection. So I'm getting goosebumps here. It means there's some energy shift going on as I speak, and I hope you can feel some of it. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, it doesn't matter. Because this is actually quite a powerful topic. It's a very spiritual topic, but it's also a very, what shall I say, human topic, in the sense that because we are humans, we need to explore it, we need to find this space, and we often pull our hair and get frustrated because we can't hear the sounds for all the noise in any way, and we never find the time to sit down and just be still, but partly also because we're afraid of what we find. But that stillness is behind all that stuff that we're afraid of. So we don't always have to dig into the hard stuff. We can look for that beautiful space, that peace. And this is universally accessible, I believe, because it is part of what we're made of, I believe. Everything I say here is from my perspective and my belief system, but it's also, it's based on my experience with working with myself and with other people. So it's not just taken out of the thin air, but you have your own experience, and please share them if you have some different conceptions, or if you have some revelations through this, or if you actually do manage to explore, or do find the time, or do find it interesting enough to explore your experience of this concept, in this case stillness. Please share it, because I'd love to hear it, and it would be valuable for other people as well. So finding this stillness is a deeply spiritual, but also deeply personal experience, and deeply human experience. Now I'm separating these three in a way. We're not separated. I also experience that we as humans are the expression, are our manifestations of who we chose to be in this life. This is my belief system. But our souls, our essence, give color, give expression to our physical selves. And we have different we have different colors, we have different hues, we have different sounds, timbre. And if you find this stillness, when you search for it, because it's there, we all have it in ourselves and in our surroundings. And I'll get back to that in a minute. But when you find that, then you also find your own colors. You find your own sounds. And you don't even need to understand it, because they're just there and you will recognize it. And it's like coming home. One of my main projects in this life is coming home to who you truly are. your essence. For me personally, but also for everybody I work with and who want to work with me. It's about releasing all that stuff, that noise, so that you can come closer to yourself. So, how can we be still in this moment? And how can you find stillness in your noisy surroundings? Any guess? I don't know. I don't really have a chat on here. Well, you can chat here actually. But I believe that this also is related to the stillness within you. So if you can find your stillness, the eye of the storm in yourself, then you can be that in relation to everything that happens around you and in this world. And you can move forward from a different place of peace, of wisdom, of intuition, of knowing, of alignment. And things become less dangerous. There is less fear. Last week's topic. So on Wednesday, again, I will share a little bit more about how you can dig into this through more meditative exercises, but I'll start right away with a little finishing exercise, as I always do, where you will take, I think we'll take one deep breath. I'm doing this as we go. Let's see. I'm just tuning in. Let's see. Yes, do one deep breath. And we'll put the intention for that breath that you center yourself in your space of stillness, in your center, the center of your core, wherever that may be. To me, it's the center of my heart. It might be whatever comes to you. Wherever you want. Some people maybe want to go to a still space in our head, or in our tummy, or your knees or feet, wherever it is. Make sure it's in your center, your core. So set the intention now, whatever comes to you, don't worry about it. And then if you can close your eyes, that's beautiful. If you can't, you can still do it. So take one deep breath, and as you breathe in, imagine that you're gathering all of you, all of yourself in, that is from your surroundings, from time and space, in, and breathe in your breath into this center that you chose for your stillness. And as you breathe out, just let your air flow, allowing any disturbance to go. And as you come back to your center of stillness, just put the intention of exploring it. Where is it? And if you can't feel it, don't worry. This is an investigation. Maybe you can. Maybe you can be completely still. And I'll leave you for a few seconds just to explore in quiet this stillness in you. And if you've felt something, or if you've found it beautiful, if you haven't, don't give up. It's there. Try it again. Anytime you find a moment to yourself, you don't even have to be quiet or still in your body in order to find it. It's a state of being, as I said. It's a state of being where you can let everything go. Give thanks to yourself for taking this time, for actually logging on to something that's longer than a real video. Bravo. I applaud you, because we need both. We need balance. We need, yes, it's fun, they're quick, they're fast, and we need the space to ponder, to think, to be. And this is what I'm offering on this hectic social media scene in this time. And I thank everybody for taking the time here. And I might see you on Wednesday, or you can watch the replays, or on my YouTube channel. And in the meantime, have a beautiful, beautiful day and week. And I wish you the greatest courage and fortune in discovering and looking for your space of stillness. the space between your breath, the space behind all that noise, everything that's going on, the state of being. Okay, bye-bye.